Good morning, Facebook Live. Joe coming to you live here from the Jersey Turnpike on our way back to Virginia to go close out these flip houses. And just finishing up my morning meditation ritual here this morning. A lot of powerful insights I'll be sharing with you. I'm going to start about my first journey to awakening. One of the first two books I ever read. I should say one of the first books I ever read, and then a second book from Napoleon Hill that I read later on in life that kind of tied all these things together. Hope you guys are having a blessed and fantastic Wednesday. As you can see right here, hello. We have a picture perfect blue sky day, the fall foliage here, absolutely gorgeous. We are all loaded up. Took care of all the business we had to take care of here in Connecticut. As you can see, we're never stopped. We just keep going and going and going because there's some people out there who are going to have a price to pay, and I know what's at risk. There's definitely going to be a price to pay, and I know what's at risk. I refuse to stop. Shirley, good to see you. Good to see you, Gene. Good morning. Happy Wednesday morning here. What a beautiful day here in New England. 62 crisp degrees. And I was just taking in all that fresh air this morning in my ritual, letting go of all the egoic mind, letting go of all these things that hold me back, letting go of all these limiting beliefs. We all have this, right? We all have these things that come into our minds, but how do we get rid of those things? Through a daily, the guys in the Rise as One group, you know about that. I posted last night. I was up again till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning last night posting. Took a 2-hour nap, got back up, and we are on the road again to get things buttoned up here. Tax season for all you guys out there. Make sure you get your taxes done. Tomorrow's the deadline. I will be finishing up our taxes tomorrow. Get all that stuff buttoned up. We're down here. One of my goals I set while here in Connecticut, I have 100-day goals set for getting both of these properties finished and sold. So that means by the middle of January, somehow, some way, both of these houses are going to be done and sold. I don't know how, I just know. And when you know, you know. So I hope you guys are having an outstanding Wednesday. And here's what happened this morning, my ritual, what the voice was telling me. He says, you have to get something with a simple plan and just start. So when I first started this journey, it was way back, I think I started with like Amway, one of my first things I ever did. I started learning about self-development, self-improvement, self-help, whatever you want to call it. It's about self. In order for you to move forward, we have to improve ourselves every single day, as we've been saying here for a very long time now. Just get better than you were yesterday, right? So he says, where did you start? So the voice was telling me this morning, where did you start, Joe? I said, you have to start from the bottom. There's no shortcuts to get to the top. You're going up a mountain, guess what? The mountain's gonna be taken one step at a time to go up that mountain. So he says, where did you start? And what were some of the things you can share with the people today on where you started and what did you do? So one of my first things I ever read was The Law of Attraction, The Secret. Then I got into Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, was the #2 selling book right now of all time. If you haven't read that book, I'm going to recommend it to a guy today. If you have not read that book, audio book, read it. It is absolutely game-changing of how fast we can shift into a higher consciousness based upon our belief system. And the second book I want to recommend today is Outwitting the Devil by the same man, Napoleon Hill. Good to see you, Carol. Good morning. So Napoleon Hill wrote this book back in 1938, and the principles hold true today. Both of these books were written way back in the 30s, and they just released Outwitting the Devil because the family was afraid of what people would think. And when he passed, they opened up the safe and they found this script. They ended up publishing it. And I was like, the insights of those two books will allow you to release that space of limiting thoughts in our minds. I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday. He was telling me all the things and why he couldn't do anything. I said, as soon as you start speaking that stuff into existence, that's what's going to happen to your life. Whatever you speak is going to show up. So be very careful what you're saying to yourself. So Outwitting the Devil and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Read those two books. Highly recommend you read those. Audio books, if you guys aren't very good readers. I listen to a lot of audio books. I do a little bit of reading. For me, as you can tell, if I lay down or if I stop the body, I go to sleep. I'm like that doll. You used to lay that doll back in the 70s. Shirley, remember those ones, Gene? You lay the doll down and the eyes would go to sleep and they close. That's me. You lay me down, boom, I'm out. But if you keep me upright, I will just keep going and going and going. Unlimited energy, just tapping into that God consciousness, tapping into purpose. And as you tap into those two things, he'll just pour abundance of energy on you. I visualize he has like this big ladle up there. He's just sparks. And it has like a funnel. He's pouring his energy down this conduit right into me, into the heart that he gave me upon my birth. So as long as I have my arms, I got my legs, I got my brain, I got my eyes, I got my hands, I got my voice, all those things, I can guarantee you, you will keep moving forward. You will get stronger than you were yesterday. You remember that, right? I remember my sister Lori had that doll. You lay it down and the two eyes would close. It was a really lifelike doll. Good to see you, Sandy. Good to see everybody here this Wednesday morning. So in my meditation this morning, they were saying, Joe, where did you start? We have to start from the bottom. And we work our way up that mountain one step at a time, getting better than we were yesterday. And the two books I'm recommending this morning, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. If you don't have any money right now, go on YouTube. You can definitely find excerpts of both of those books on there. Listen to those books. They make so much sense. It's going to make a lot of sense to you, Sandy. And this is how you become awakened. It's a one-step process. Just like you're going to climb the mountain, it's a one-step process. Letting go of one thought a day. One thought a day. One thought a day. Because these thoughts that people told us, like the guy I was talking to yesterday, all these things he was told growing up and what he couldn't be and how he wasn't going to do this and he couldn't do that and how dumb he was and you're stupid and all these things that people tell us. We took that as our belief system. Because back then our minds were like sponges and we absorbed that information in and it hurt us at our soul and we pushed all that stuff down, we repressed it, and now it's time to start peeling back that onion layer by layer by layer. Unpeel that onion and allow that pain to come out of you. And I highly suggest you guys get out to a 333 meditation with me on a Sunday. I post a link very often in the group. If you want to get onto that meditation, get added to the group, send me a Facebook Messenger up here in the top right hand corner. I will add you to that group. I will teach you how to let go of that energy. Everything's energy. When we trap that energy, eventually it becomes heart disease, becomes throat disease when you're not speaking your truth. When you're living in uncertainty, we have stomach cancers, irritable bowel syndrome, and all these things, and yeast infection. All those things come based upon our thoughts. Our thoughts are so super powerful. Good to see you, Paul. What's up, brother? Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday here, 289 of 366. As you can see, we're getting closer to that 366 number. And the end of the year is closing in here. We have elections coming up. It's going to be a shit show going on. There's no doubt about it. Regardless of who wins, but all we have to do is do better than we were yesterday. Trust, believe, faith is what I heard this weekend at my mom's services down at Sacred Heart Church. Thank you to Father Norm. What an amazing service he provided. Very personable, great priest delivered a solid message. Kathy spoke, I spoke, and it was a great closure for a great woman. As I can feel the vibration in my body right now as I continue to step deeper and deeper into the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the mothers that are on the other side guiding us, allowing ourselves to be guided. I cannot stress enough to allow yourself to be guided. So many times we get intuition, so many times we get insights, and then we don't do those things. Those things are designed specifically for you. They're not for me, they're not for Gene, they're not for Sandy, they're not for Paul, they're not for Carol, they're not for Shirley, they're for you individually. You're the one that's getting that message, and there's an assignment that you are to fulfill, that you have an obligation to fulfill, so we can come together as one. That's what the vision was back in 2016, November. And I was hiking that same trail this weekend. And as I got to that space where the voice said, whatever happened to one love, the sun came through the trees and hit me right in my face as a reminder to keep moving forward. And we climbed that hill, and this time I'm in much better shape. I went right up without even breaking a sweat. My man Miguel was a little bit sore in his legs from the workout we had down in Stanford with the Next Level brothers, but he made it. He didn't complain once. He had his staff to help along the way. And how do we get to the top of that mountain? One step at a time. Build that foundation off the next stone after next stone after next stone. You guys see this all the time when you're hiking in the woods, you hikers. You see all those stones stacked up? Visualize that. That's how you're going to get to the top. One stone at a time. That's the secret. So I hope you guys are hearing something from this message. Congratulations for the people that broke through from yesterday's message. The voice told me there was going to be people that broke through from that message yesterday. Super powerful insights that came through. Good to see you, Gene Ronali. Always a pleasure. Sending you blessings, sending you love, man. I was over there at the Our Lady of Lourdes praying for you guys yesterday. The blue candles are all lit up. As soon as I walked up next to those candles, my whole body started vibrating. I just sent out love and energy and healing and certainty and clarity to every single one of you, because the reality is we're not going to get anywhere in this life unless we do it together. So everybody in this call listening to this right now, it's your time to step up to the plate, get those 2 books, go all in on you, get better than you were yesterday, and when it's all said and done together, we will rise as one. I love you guys. Peace. Have a blessed, fantastic Wednesday.